Alrighty, we'll get started. We'll talk about your website for a little bit. Radio Hyrule. Tell me how that started.
Oh man, Radio Hyrule actually started when I was 15 years old. Um, it was it was actually World Zelda Music Radio, which is basically the same thing, only a different name and stuff.
hmm
Um, yeah, it started on a server in my computer room. So uh, yeah,
Sounds like a lot of people's Minecraft servers. They just start in some guy's basement. Like, oh hey, let's play Minecraft together. Alrighty. It just kind of blows up from there. But yeah, I do remember for many years you were called WZMR, and I've just had you in my playlist for so long. And you just recently changed the name,
right,
which
yeah,
I'm glad of the change. It's really good. But you built yourself quite an impressive music collection.
still growing.
Still, yeah, definitely still growing. There's a lot of really good Zelda fans out there who love music. But yeah, when starting the website, what was going through your mind? What kind of goals did you have?
Well, when I first started it, um, I just wanted to see what I could do, and starting a radio station was kind of one of the things that I wanted to try, and I quickly found out that people like it and that they actually want to listen to it, and so I mean I just kept expanding it and try to get as many new features and building the website and just trying to make it as good as possible.
Now, building, especially speaking of building the website, I'm sure you probably do most of it yourself, correct?
Um, that's how it started, but now I have a couple of people who I can give a shout out to. Austin, he is my server manager. He does all the back end stuff that I just don't have time to do or don't know how to do. He's really good at this stuff, and I am very lucky to have him. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Any other staff members you want to give shout outs to? You're completely willing to me, and I'm sure you have a lot of people on your staff. I'm sure.
Well, um, not really. We're actually a pretty small team. Uh, lately, we've been starting to do more news stories. Uh, Microchip and I have been the people doing that. Um, we're just trying to grow. I guess we're in that stage where it's just time to start appealing to a larger audience.
Alrighty. But yeah, your direct involvement with Radio Ohio, I guess you oversee most operations. You do some of the web development. I want to talk about just the music in general. What kind of process is that? You see a song out there that's not in your playlist, and you're like, I gotta have that. What do you do?
Well, first let's assume that I find a song. I haven't listened to it yet. Um, I have to listen to it first, obviously, and then the real decider or the real end factor is whether or not I cringe when I listen to it. It's called the no cringe test. Basically, if I cringe when I listen to it, it's not going to make it on.
hmm
Uh, but if it's a good song and I want to add it to the site, then I'll contact the person who made it. Usually it's on YouTube or Newgrounds or some other random place. I'll just send them an email or an IM or something and ask them if we can put their music on the stream. And they generally cooperate. I don't remember any times where they specifically didn't want it on there.
Um, I guess I have to pass your test, your cringe test. That's for every song, pretty much.
Yeah, and there are still songs that get on that I cringe at, but those have been on there for so long that I don't hear them ever. So if I heard them now, I'd probably take them off. So I don't know.
So, do you ever get like fan submissions saying, "Hey, you know what? I really like this. I want to see what you do with it." I'm sure you get plenty, but is there some that a lot of people like and you don't, but you've added them anyway, just because they really requested it?
Yeah. Couple examples like we have
We wouldn't want to hate on anybody. It's just everyone
no
has
no
their own
no.
taste in music.
Um, we recently added a bunch of guitar covers, and a lot of those are like heavy metal covers, and at first we didn't really want to add those just because they're pretty extreme and they might not be what everyone that normally listens to Radio Hyrule, it might not be something they want to listen to. So we took that into consideration, but we added it anyways, just because uh, people were asking, and so majority rules, I guess.
I guess I mean there's always a one person out there who's just like, I just don't like it, and sometimes you're on that side, and really isn't much you can do about it. Um, I know you have a really unique I guess process when people want to request music. Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, yeah, if say there's a song on that you don't like, you don't want to listen to it, you can actually choose what the next song is going to be. And to do that, you just have to have an account on the website, and once you do that, you can browse through our library of music, which we're still working on making easier to browse and stuff. Uh, yeah, that's another story. But you find the page of the song that you want to request, and there's a nice little button on there. You just hit that, and that gets added into the playlist queue. And depending on if there's another song in the queue or not, it'll get played next.
Now, you ever come up with a problem where there's just like so many songs ready to be queued? I mean, how do you deal with problems like that?
Well, for example, right now, let me just see how many requests we have. Um, it looks like there's about 20 to 30 requests in the queue right now. And I mean, that's not really our problem, I guess. It's more the listeners, I guess. Um, they just have to wait for the queue to go down before they can hear their song.
Alrighty. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. If you're not working on Radio Hyrule, what do you do in your free time? Like I'm sure you have other jobs you gotta work on. And I know we can probably mention that you've had quite a bit of a role in the Zelda Symphony concerts. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm actually a production assistant for the Legend of Zelda 25th Anniversary Symphony, the one that just played in Japan on Monday, and will be performing in Los Angeles and London in the next 2 weeks.
And how did you? I really want to know how you got that job. Is it through Radio
it,
Hyrule, your fan base,
no,
or?
it's not Radio Hyrule. It's I'm friends with the producer of the symphony, Jaron Moore. I've known him for probably 3 or 4 years now, and since then he he's become a producer of the symphony. And since I'm such a big Zelda music fan, he brought me on board, and so now I get to do some work for those guys.
It sounds like a lot of fun, and then that's pretty much what you've been working on now. No real. I guess you don't have a lot of free time because you've been so busy with that. I'm sure.
Right? Yeah, that's been top priority now for a while.
Alrighty. But looking in the future, I mean, I'd say the symphony's done. Everyone has their memories with it. What kind of future plans do you have for Radio Hyrule?
Radio Hyrule. Actually, I want to. It's actually part of a three-site network that we're building. Uh, it's called the Zelda Music Network. Lack of creativity there, but it works. It's the combined triforce of sites. Zelda Reorchestrated, Radio Hyrule, and a new site that we're still building right now called ZeldaMusic.net. And that's going to be turned into a remixing community for Zelda fans. And we're going to be providing resources for people who are completely new to remixing music, who have absolutely no experience whatsoever. And we're going to teach them how to start creating their own music so they can become future providers of music to Radio Hyrule.
You do mention like the network. You saying Z-Rio. Right now you're in charge of the Z-Rio project, but what's the full story behind that? I know someone else used to run it. How did you take up that task?
Well, it's been a long time in the making, really. I've been with the site for probably 3.5 years now, which doesn't really seem like a long time in the scope of things, seeing how the site's been around since 2004. But um, the previous owner, FireGS, uh, he's been busy with other things in life. He just doesn't have time to run the site anymore. So he passed the ownership on to me. I now own the site, and I'm the new director, and will be for the next couple of years at least.
So, when you say director, what exactly does a director do? Like, what are your main
That's
jobs?
basically a fancy way of saying that I'm the boss. Uh, I'll be deciding like which projects we start next, or what songs we release and stuff. Um, but really, my I don't really take the full reign of things until we're done with Twilight Symphony, which is our latest project.
Go
Um,
into details about that because I read a little bit. I'm still not quite sure what it means.
okay, well, Twilight Symphony is basically a follow-up to our Ocarina of Time album, which we finished in 2009, actually. Uh, One key difference, though, between our Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess album is that, well, there's a lot of reasons actually. Twilight Symphony features full arrangements of Twilight Princess music rather than just straight covers of Ocarina of Time music. So the songs that we are producing for this project are going to sound a lot more uh, creative, I guess would be a good way to say it. More creative than our previous songs.
So,
Uh,
I'll go on.
yeah, there's going to be a lot more, a lot of new material that we add in ourselves. Not new material in the sense that it's like a composition that stems away from Zelda, but new in that it displays the original themes in a different way.
Other than that, though, that's really two things you're focusing on now, right now: Twilight Symphony and the orchestra, the symphony concerts. But anything else? Let's say 2 years down the road, what do you see yourself accomplishing? That's pretty big.
Oh man.
I could assume something Skyward Sword related, because that's going to be a huge deal.
Well, yeah. I guess I'm not really sure. I mean, a lot can happen in 2 years. I mean, uh, even in the last 6 months, I never thought I would be working with the Zelda Symphony, and I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But if I had to say, I would probably guess that I'll be working on another album, the likes of Twilight Symphony.
Okay, kind of mix it up here. Let's talk gaming related. If you're not playing Zelda games, which I can't see anybody doing because it's like the best thing ever, what's your favorite non-Zelda franchise? I'm gonna throw a little curveball
Ooh,
question here.
yeah, that's a curveball. Um, well, I like a bunch of different franchises. I'm also an Xbox 360 owner, mostly for Halo. I'm a Halo fan. I don't know why. It might just be. It's probably just because it's something that me and my friends always used to do. Back in high school, we'd get together and hook our Xboxes up, and that was a really good
Have
time.
those
So
classic LAN parties, yeah.
I think, yeah, Halo just made a lot of good memories for me, and that's why I play it now. I also play a lot of Nintendo stuff: Mario, Smash Bros, uh, Final Fantasy. I need to branch out more.
Alrighty, if you joined us late today, we're doing a live interview with the owner and founder of RadioHyro.com, Eric Bucholz. I'm going to take a quick moment to do a shout out to chat. If you've got any questions you want to ask our guest, please let us know now, because it's going to be your only chance. Well, maybe. We might have you in the future. I don't know yet. Alrighty, moving onward. Uh, I'm sure you're watching our two brave workers right now working on Deku Tree. Earlier this week, we took a little bit of a tour of the Hyrulecraft server. Honestly, tell me, what'd you think when you first saw it? What was your impression?
I was like, oh my god. I mean, just the amount of work and effort that you guys have put into this. Like, I've played Minecraft before. I know how long it could take to make something look perfect, And I can say that just walking around this replica of Hyrule that you guys have created, it's it's stunning, really.
Uh, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that. It's one of my character flaws, yet one of my, I guess, strong points. I look at every detail. Even look at like Kokiri Forest. There's some things I want to change, like this little landing platform here is completely wrong. But yeah, I mean, for the first, I guess, few months I've been doing this, I did it really solo, and I'm really happy lately. We've just had a lot of GenGAME staff working on this, a couple of other people who really wanted to start helping out, and they've been really good so far. And yeah, I'm just really happy for that. Um,
I'm afraid to touch something. I really am.
most people are. They're just like, okay, I give you permission to do this, and they're like, but I don't want to mess up what you've done. It's like, no, you can't make this up. I've got everything backed up anyway. Then they're like, oh, okay, and then they start detonating TNT, and I'm like, lots of fun. I guess first audience question. I'm gonna dive right into this. Diagi wants to know what you see for the future of Hyrule Radio. I'm guessing maybe 5 or 10 years down the road.
Oh man. Well, I hope we're still going, because I mean, Zelda music is obviously a really big part of my life. I mean, everything I do in my spare time would be. Oh, hi. Sorry. Everything I do in my spare time, for the most part, is relating to Zelda music in some way. So, 10 years from now, I hope to see it bigger than ever. Uh, I hope Zelda continues to make awesome music, and if the Skyward Sword trailers are anything to go by, I don't think we have anything to worry about for that.
So something I was a little concerned about. We say Skyward Sword now got a fully orchestrated soundtrack. What does that mean for you guys? I mean, the whole point, I guess, around ZREO was to orchestrate music that wasn't orchestrated. You got Skyward Sword, it's already orchestrated. It's a bit of a challenge, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Um, well, I mean, I don't think that's gonna stop us. I mean, we can still make our own arrangements of Skyward Sword music and make it sound as good as possible. I mean, if you take a listen to some of the previews for Twilight Symphony, and if you ask the average fan if that was recorded by an orchestra, I'm sure most people would think that it was. I'm not to toot my own horn here, but it's easily some of the best work that we've ever created.
That sounds good. I completely just spaced out. Forgot what I was gonna say. I think we got a couple of your friends in the chat room right now. They're saying hello.
Oh, man.
Um,
Hello, friends.
somebody said hi, Eric, and I'm assuming they know you. Otherwise, they
Who
wouldn't be
was
saying
it?
hi.
Where is this chat?
Says username is Kittens Mimi. I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So somebody's saying hi, Eric, and either you know him or you don't. Still, we like you stopping by and chatting with our guests tonight. I think it's the end of all the questions I had. We blew through those really fast.
Are there any other questions in our fans? Let's see.
Well, I guess I got one. I was hoping we'd have other people to ask this because you said you wanted to try and get some of your staff members in here, but maybe in the future. You talked about other staff members. You have guys who work on the website, guys who work on the server. What about the ZREO staff? How many people? Is it the same people working on that, or you got completely different people on that staff?
It's kind of half and half. The people who work on Radio Hyrule are also people who work on ZREO. And that's basically me and Austin and Microchip. But we have more people on ZREO than we do on Radio Hyrule. ZREO has, let me count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 4 musicians actively working on Twilight Symphony right now. 4.
Wow.
And yeah, that's really not a lot of people considering we're making over 40 tracks and over 3 hours of music. And so we're doing the best we can to go about our daily lives and get as much stuff done as possible so we can get this project done and out the door.
Alrighty, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I want to do our first plug of the night when we do this. Um, Again, our guest tonight is Eric Bucholz from RadioHyrule.com. He's the guy in charge. Please visit RadioHyrule.com for, I guess, the best and only radio station out there for just Zelda music. These Zelda remixes, they got everything there. I've been listening to you guys for years. Like,
That's awesome.
I want to say it's about 3 years now since I first discovered you. Like, there's like an affiliate list from one of the fan sites I was on. I'm like, WZMR, I'm gonna click on that. And I'm like, oh wow, that is cool.
That's basically since the beginning of our existence.
But yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to dive right in. We're gonna do a lot more actual Hyrulecraft stuff. I want to thank you for stopping by, Eric. If you want to stick around and chat, we're gonna probably bring in the rest of our builders in the Skype chat.